has been through some trauma, and some of with Rock Nation, with Desiree Perez, with other individuals.
Beyonce thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp.
You got these lawyers that just frauding and pit anything they want basically in the court.
Once more, Jay-Z's name is becoming viral on the internet. And it's not for a billionaire contract or a new record this time. Rymir, his purported son, has been granted permission by the judge to proceed with his paternity lawsuit against him. In addition, the judge is putting pressure on Jay-Z to reply to the most recent court document by July 18th. Indeed, time is running out. Guess who's stirring things up now and making sure no one is looking? Naturally, 50 Cent is involved in this. Disaster. Chaos is what that man thrives on. As though he had a front-row ticket to this courtroom drama, he has been making fun of Jay-Z on social media by posting dubious content and making subtle comments. He's not alone, though. Nicki Minaj also joined the trend. She said, "Is this why he was trending the other day?" After reposting 50's post on X. "I'm not sure. Glory to God." Whoosh. Nicki gave that one a really severe side eye. But hold on, things get messy. There are rumors that Beyoncé is intervening to stop this lawsuit. Yes, exactly. She has allegedly been keeping this situation under wraps by abusing her influence behind the scenes.
Same thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp, and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay, about regarding saying Rymir needs to go away little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there with the song they made. And then next thing I know, somebody was at my property. Somebody came to my property in the evening time and had a conversation about trying to get in through the back door.
Rymir's godmother also testified Beyoncé was pulling strings to ensure Rymir never had his day in court, as she had alleged some time before. And now everything has simply become wilder. According to certain sites, Jay-Z's alleged involvement in dubious activities connected to an unlawful plan involving people snooping, which reportedly resulted in the birth of Rymir, is the only reason the court permitted the case to proceed. Indeed, they claim that there are many more facets to this issue than just paternity. It might be connected to something far darker. And now for the actual kicker. Jay-Z is being criticized for avoiding the matter. Some claim that because he secretly knows Rymir is his son, he has been avoiding this whole issue for years. Although it is a ridiculous charge, others are pointing out that Jay-Z is quick to respond with lawsuits when his name is falsely used. Recall that Jay defended himself and shut down the accusation that he and Diddy engaged in some heinous behavior with a juvenile right away. However, there has been no mention of Rymir, no court date, no DNA test, nothing. That quiet is making a statement. And Rymir isn't going to back down. According to reports, Jay-Z's team has been attempting to bury this lawsuit behind the scenes for years, but the court just made it known. In the end, Rymir may receive his paternity test. Guess what, then? It's official now that I have the real court records. The judge issued a formal order requiring Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Corey Carter, to reply by July 18, 2025, to the most recent submission made by Rymir's legal team, Lily Collet. The documents state unequivocally that the court allows the ex parte application and mandates an extension of the defendant's time to address the plaintiff's allegations for the reasons listed above. Boom. It's documented. No more evading. This is the point at which the story begins to resemble a movie storyline. For years, Rymir has maintained that his mother, Wanda, briefly dated Jay-Z in 1992. It took place in his aunt's Brooklyn, New York, apartment when she was just 16 years old. She was allegedly brought up from Philadelphia by Jay. The protection they were meant to employ didn't work, and she became pregnant as a result. Wanda claims that Jay-Z only returned once, around 2 weeks later, before going missing. After that, she was unable to get in touch with him. Rymir said that at the age of 8, his mother informed him that she thought Jay-Z was his biological father. Here's the crazy twist now. Rymir's birth certificate initially named Robert Graves, Wanda's then boyfriend, as the father. However, a 2011 DNA test revealed it was untrue. Robert was excluded and lawfully taken out of the records. The clincher is right here. Wanda revealed to Rymir that she had only dated Robert and Jay-Z. Who else may be the father if Robert isn't? Everything points to Jay-Z. This is where things become extremely difficult, though. There may be more to Jay-Z's reported prolonged avoidance of the paternity test than we initially believed. It would have been a felony if he had really slept with Wanda when she was just 16 and he was 22. Completely blank. This is not only a family matter. That is a legal area with grave repercussions. Even Wanda's godmother supported the narrative, claiming that Jay-Z's legal team had gotten in touch with her years prior. She said, "I got a call from his in-house lawyer, and they were very helpful, and we thought we would resolve this privately." It seems that they even discussed Rymir's musical prowess. Indeed, Rymir also raps. The attorney reportedly inquired as to whether it was appropriate to sign Rymir to Jay-Z's company, but stated that he would need to complete high school first. There were therefore already hushed discussions that sounded like recognition going on behind closed doors. However, everything is now leaking to the general public. This may be Jay-Z's final opportunity to confront the truth or to continue attempting to stifle it. This is where things took a drastic turn. Rymir's people claim that Jay-Z's legal team's tone suddenly altered after they rejected the initial offer.
Lawyers are just frauding and pit anything they doing, anything they want basically in the courtroom, and the judges is just allowing this to go on. I honestly believe that both of them should be hold it responsible for this, because you guys, this is you guys' job, and if the judge can't see this or overlook it, I can understand a mistake, but just throughout the years, this continue to overlook fraud it's just craziness to me. Like, come on, it's right there in your face. If you can't see that, then I don't know what else we can do to help you guys believe that it's something crazy going on with this case. Honestly, I just want everybody in the world just to keep their eyes open and just watch things that happen, that just like how things unfold, because it's crazy. It really is crazy. These judges, these lawyers, this fraud, this collusion, who knows what it's for, money or friendships or whatever they got going on. But I can honestly say that we should never go in the courtroom feeling like we're already the victims and we did nothing wrong.
They were attempting to be polite one moment, and then they abruptly changed tactics. Why? Because it dawned on them at last that this was more than simply a paternity issue. This may develop into something far more significant. Jay-Z may be in significant legal jeopardy if Wanda was indeed underage, particularly if he and she traveled across state boundaries. Let's dissect it. There may have been federal penalties if Jay-Z had picked Wanda up in Philadelphia and taken her to an apartment in Brooklyn, New York, when she was just 16 years old. It is more than simply a scandal. That is a whole other case that is just ready to blow out. And you know what? In fact, years ago, Wanda attempted to persuade Jay-Z to take the lead. She brought a civil lawsuit to obtain child support, but it was ultimately dismissed. It was filed in the incorrect state and never refiled, not because it lacked merit. Overlooked technicality. Major setback. Jay-Z's group made the most of that. The court was informed by his attorney that Jay had no legal stake in Rymir. Wanda was unable to defend herself in court as a result. Rymir held onto the case even after it faded out. He continued to push after picking it up. It wasn't smooth, though. Rymir said that he was always being blocked. He thinks Jay-Z was reportedly buying off judges and lawyers to end the lawsuit. Regardless of whether it is accurate or not, it is certain that legal red tape has been stifling this case for years. Even though Rymir attempted to take it all the way to the Supreme Court, it was dismissed. Why? Because the Supreme Court ruled that it lacked the authority to unseal records from lower courts or revisit earlier rulings. However, Rymir didn't end there. he resubmitted the matter to the New Jersey Superior Court's Appellate Division. And he may be approaching genuine traction this time. However, Jay-Z's legal team attempted to shut it down once more, arguing that since he didn't own or reside on any property in New Jersey, he couldn't be made to take a DNA test there. Here's the twist, though. Rymir brought receipts. He shared evidence from Tina Null's book online. Yes, according to Beyoncé's mother, Jay-Z did own real estate in New Jersey at the time. Therefore, the legal argument is nullified if that is the case. Now that the judge has approved the case's eventual advancement, hundreds of people are supporting Rymir and calling for the truth. Additionally, he has some influential people on his side this time. Out here, 50 Cent and Nicki Minaj are amplifying the entire scenario. Rymir is no longer by himself. Additionally, Jay-Z may not be able to avoid for very long. And believe me when I say that Nicki Minaj is now putting Jay-Z under a lot of strain. She's going after his throat, not just flinging shade. Nicki has gone headfirst into this drama and is letting it all out once she's finished being nice. Here's the tea, then. A hilarious interview with Dre Hadley, the estranged daughter of Roc Nation's CEO Desiree Perez, was just published by Nicki. And she didn't hold back, dry. In that interview, she threw a litany of bombs, alleging that Roc Nation attempted to silence Nicki entirely in addition to ruining her career. Dre claims that Roc Nation violated Nicki's right to free expression and, worse, targeted her family. Yes, you heard correctly. Nicki's husband was the target, according to Dre. They came for her child, and the whole nation ought to be worried about what's going on.
Been through some trauma, and some of with Roc Nation, with Desiree Perez, with other individuals. What I can say about that is I've witnessed and heard a lot of things. Again, is hearsay, right? So it doesn't even matter. And that's why I'm not even going to go into detail with that. If I have the opportunity to speak with Nicki, would love to connect with her on that. But I've kind of seen, just like you firsthand, how they've they've abused of her platform. They abused her talents. They've abused of her freedom of speech. They've abused her family. They've attacked her husband. They've attacked her child. And it's sad. It's really sad. Somebody so resourceful, talented, high profile as Nicki Minaj being targeted. It should really scare the American people. It should really scare you guys too, right? Because I'm the daughter. So it's like, at this point, if it's happening to me, I think she's really outspoken, and I'm grateful that she's being outspoken on it, because I think she's almost seeing it like, well, it happened to me, it's happening to her, let me speak up on it. Nobody is safe right now. And she's fed up. I think she's fed up because she's been through.
Although Nicki made a daring comment, it is obvious that she agrees since she shared it for her admirers to see. However, Nicki has been revealing more than just that. She has been letting it all out over the last few days, alleging that Jay-Z and his entourage are secretly undermining her career. She implied that influential people in the industry have been attempting to silence her, which is the true reason she hasn't been releasing music recently. She made hints that a powerful person had even attempted to destroy her marriage to her husband, Kenneth Petty, by using insider information and falsehoods to turn him against her. As if that weren't crazy enough, Nicki also said that her fans and her own social media accounts had been purposefully shadow banned in an attempt to harm her reputation. Simply put, that is digital sabotage. The most startling thing, though, was when she claimed that Jay-Z still owed her money. Nicki is now putting pressure on Jay-Z by slipping into Rymir's corner since she has a personal and financial feud. Rymir may finally receive the test and the answers he's been seeking for years, given the mounting circumstances, the court case, public pressure, and the mayhem on social media. Here's the problem, though. Many are standing with him, but some are beginning to pose some challenging queries. For example, what is Rymir trying to do here? Well, is there money involved, or is it simply about discovering the truth? Does this have to do with public recognition and financial responsibilities, or does he want Jay-Z to finally identify him as a son? People are arguing over whether he is seeking justice or is only looking to profit. In any case, Jay-Z is being surrounded by walls. Furthermore, this issue became much more complicated when Nicki started dragging receipts and supporting Rymir. This is the point at which things become rather serious. Rymir claims that there was never any expectation that Jay-Z would suddenly step up and take on the role of father. It's not about making up for lost time or creating some kind of ideal friendship. He is fighting for justice, which is more profound. This case is about how his family was let down by the legal system. He stated how dishonest judges issued fictitious orders, which caused his family to lose money and even have illegitimate loans placed on their house. This is more than simply a personal battle. According to Rymir, the fight is against a corrupt system that has been rigged to shield influential individuals. He's calling it all out, too. He has also been extremely explicit. "I don't want money or anything like that from Jay-Z," he declared. "All I want is for him to come clean and give the public the truth." And to be honest, that sentence is rather powerful. Rymir asks, "What's the problem if you're not my father at all and you're sure that nothing ever occurred with my mom? Simply complete the exam and end it." However, Jay-Z's reaction, or lack thereof, has everyone looking the other way. The actual questions are being posed by Rymir. Why is the first thing that comes out of your lips usually a no on a paternity test if you have nothing to conceal? He has also outlined the main points he wants resolved. One is that Wanda, who was just 16 at the time, was supposedly taken by Jay-Z from Philadelphia to Brooklyn for intercourse. A major legal infraction would result from that. 2. According to Rymir, Jay-Z's legal team lied to hide the facts when they said they misspoke in a court filing. 3 years ago, Jay-Z was reportedly attempting to reach a peaceful settlement out of court while publicly disputing the allegations. 4th, Rymir revealed something shocking. He claims that after he filed the legal complaint, someone attempted to hurt him. He even stated that something had been put in his car prior to being pulled over, and he displayed pictures of his car after it had been shot up. Take a moment to process that. This man claims that they have been intimidating him for speaking up by employing fear tactics. And those strategies seem uncannily similar to what Dre Hadley claimed she encountered from her mother, Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez. A horrible, well-thought-out pattern is beginning to emerge. Now that everything is public knowledge, things are rapidly becoming more heated. The world is waiting for Jay-Z to reply to the court's injunction, which was issued on July 18th. What do you think, then? After more than 10 years of searching, is Rymir finally going to receive the answers he needs, or are there still more secrets out there? We promise to be there for you through every step of the way, so be sure to press the notification bell, like, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. We appreciate your time and hope to see you at the next